السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله الذي بيده تتم الصالحات، وأصلي وأسلم على الحبيب المصطفى صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن اهتدى بهداه إلى يوم الدين وبعد. All praises belong to the Almighty Allah. May His peace and blessings be upon the Prophet of Islam, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his household followers, and all those who follow the path of Allah to the day of judgment. We welcome all of you to the morals of Ramadan day 9, even though it is coming to you rather belatedly. And it was due to circumstances beyond my control. We have already dealt with the issue of reflection on Allah's power. This morning, we want to do reflection on man's condition. The essence of this reflection is to think through certain realities of life for man to fear Allah. This reflection is looking at the creation of man from two angles. The first angle is the description of man by the Quran in Quran chapter 30 verse 54, and then the description of man by the Quran in respect of the stages through which man was created. And all the two descriptions indicate the weakness of man in creation. The weakness of man reflected in how he ends his life on this earth. In respect of the first description of the Quran, chapter 30, verse 54, it talks about the human life cycle. And the book says, Allahu alladhi khalaqakum min da'fin ثم جعل من بعد ضعف قوة ثم جعل من بعد قوة ضعفا وشيبة. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala states that it is He who created you from a state of weakness and then transformed you into a state of strength, and then from a state of strength to another form of weakness, which I may call the second weakness, and then transform you to a state which is weaker than weakness. The first description on the list of items that are related to the life cycle of man, the list number one is creation of man from a state of weakness. What does that mean? Just reflect. When you and I dropping from our mother's wombs, looking very helpless and weak, a non-entity for that matter, there's nothing we can do for ourselves. We totally rely on our mothers for survival, as it was the case when we were in their wombs. This weakness will continue to manifest itself in different forms. We will be sucking the breast of our mothers. Then by 2 years' time, we will start to eat proper food. Then by age 9, 10, 11, 12, we are now able to express ourselves very effectively. Earlier on, in early childhood, we could not express ourselves, which is a manifestation of another weakness. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is gradually empowering us through His wisdom and infinite power. Is giving us language and gradually taking us out of the state of weakness. Then age 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, a late childhood and teenage period. Late childhood signifies the intellectual and then potential linguistic expressions of the individual. By 15, 16, now the person has entered a stage of maturity, puberty. That period itself signals a weakness if something is absent in the person. At age 15, 16, sexual potency enters the human being, and accompanied by the spirit of curiosity. This teenage wants to learn everything and wants to know everything. And in the absence of proper training, this child may be tempted to become sexually promiscuous. And all these are manifestations of weakness. Then university comes. Completion of university at the age of 22, 21. During university days and SS days, the child is still relying on his parents. So from the day of birth up to about 24, 25, which signals the end of university education, throughout a period of about 25 years, this person is totally relying on his parents. You remember, the Quran says, Allahu alladhi khalaqakum min da'fin. That it is He, Allah, who created you from a state of weakness. So the weakness represents the 25 years of a person's life. The first 25 years. Then after the 25 years, the person is now employed, capable to take care of himself. That is the beginning of the stage of strength. So you know the Quran said, it is Allah who created you from a state of weakness, and from a state of weakness to a state of strength. So 25 years, the person is employed, the beginning of the state of strength. This period is the longest period in a person's life. From 25 to 60, 65, the person will be working very actively. And surprisingly, this is the period that a person sins a lot, because the commitment of sin is precipitated by the ability, physical ability to commit a sin. That is why sometimes some stupid people, while they were young, 25, 30, 40, 45, still very young, 45, 50, they will play around with sex. They will be misbehaving with sex. Then, when his last state of weakness, around 60 years, which I'll soon explain, when it starts, he will then be telling people that, oh, I have stopped, illicit sexual relationships. It is not he who has stopped, but age has weakened him. He can't do it again. The houses will say, Yagaji, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows that you get there. Do whatever you like with that state of strength. Commit sins, steal. You are finally going to be cut on by age. For this period, you have to exhibit taqwa. You have to reflect upon the fact that this state is not permanent. You are not going to remain in that state of strength. State of weakness is waiting for you, which you cannot even help yourself. So any sensible person who reflects upon the fact that even the state of strength which you will enjoy for about 40 years, it's not permanent. It's not going to stay alone. It's not eternal. It will come and go. Now 60 years has come, the beginning of the second state of weakness. 60, 65, you've gone on retirement. And from 60 to about 75, if you and I do not die early, you start to feel the weakness here. Alaji every morning will tell the wife, I have backache. My knees are paining me. I'm really in pain all over my body. When my father got to this age, Alhaji Ibrahim Nuamah, a great man for that matter, may Allah have mercy on him and my mother. When my father got this age, my siblings were complaining that the man was complaining too much. Every day weakness, every day this. Then I told them, please be patient with the old man, because this is maintenance time. The engine is weak, 65, 70. So every day he has to take some paracetamol and some other painkillers. That is the state of weakness for the second time. Then the person did not die early, so he lived on. And the Quran is saying you are going to go into a state which is weaker than that is weak. That is the last bit of it. Around 80, 85, 90, dementia sets in. The intellectual potency in the person, the mental potency in the person is going away. He's gradually losing control over his senses. He defecates and somebody has to clean him up. He urinates and somebody has to clean him up. His own son, Abdullah, who comes to him in the morning to say, Dad, I'm going to work. Abdullah comes back from work and comes back home. As usual, he has to go and pay homage to the father. He goes to the father. Abdullah greets the father. Then the father quickly shouts, where is your mother? Call your mother for me. The mother Fatih comes over. Listens to what the father is going to tell Abdullah through the mother. Say, Fatih, listen to me very well. This your son is a very bad son. For 6 months now, I have not seen him. For 6 good months, I have not seen him. Meanwhile, this was a man the son had come and greeted before going to work. Now he comes back and the father is disowning him, saying that he had not seen him for the past 6 months. Reflect upon this end of man and repent and repent and repent in this great month of Ramadan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.